All right, now we're unmuted.
Unmute, just how we like to be.
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How are you, man?
Good, real good, actually. Bit of a gloomy day, but
I could agree with that. I mean, we could use it though. Who gets us, man? Like me, the weather. When it's hot, it's too hot. I want it to be cold, and then I want the sun back, and then I like the sunny days, and then today feels perfect actually to just.
right, it's like we're never happy. It's just one thing or the other. I'm just glad I'm not up north where it was always
Oh man,
20 degrees and snowing all the time. Yeah, I'm done with that. Hello, honey.
hello.
We just want to discuss a little bit of the Melissa Lucio situation.
I hadn't heard of this till recently. I know you mentioned it to me, and that's when I was like, "What is this?" I saw
Really?
it on Hulu.
You haven't heard of it, really?
No, until
Damn.
this month, probably. I mean, February.
Have you seen did you watch the documentary yet?
Yeah, that's for sure. I
Hi,
did.
Lori. Welcome. Yes, definitely. Something that I think it needs to be talked about, although I'm not here to defend her. I want to make that very clear. I'm not here to defend her at all. Well, you finally saw it, Abel. Let me get your take on this. What do you think she's guilty? And if she's guilty, do you think she should be, have the death penalty put upon her like it is?
I mean, really seeing it from my perspective, where I love to watch crime shows and do all these watch these kind of stuff, these things. I think she didn't murder the child, but negligence itself was there. Leaving a child unattended. How would a child fall that far down the stairs? I wouldn't even allow my kid to be around stairs when they were that age, to be honest.
Mm.
So that's just my take. I don't think she killed her. I do think that she is definitely guilty of the negligence, but not capital murder.
So let me throw this at you. What if I told you stairs had nothing to do with it?
Well, then I would like to hear the rest of that.
Yeah, and here Lori saw. She said, "Saw the documentary. I believe it was her daughter." See, that's what I thought at first, because they interviewed her daughter named Alexandra.
Yep.
And she was real cold, and she pretty much said she never felt close with that baby. Even if it was a sister, she said, I didn't feel close to her. I didn't feel any emotion towards her. And that look she had on her face, I don't know if you remember that part or not. That look she had on her face when they asked her that, and she just, man. So what I thought, and it was in my head, was that girl, that daughter, Alexandra, maybe she's the one who did something, but mom is covering for her.
So theory.
But they never expected this to go to fucking death row,
Wow.
And now it's like, holy crap, now what? So that's just a theory of mine. And apparently somebody else agrees with me. Hey, Snoopy.
I mean, it totally makes sense.
Hi,
I mean, a
Maria.
mom would cover up.
And then and you look at the police interview that's the first thing they show you when you watch the documentary. And you know, of course they're trying to get answers, but I guess I don't understand how anybody, no matter what case it is, whatever, I don't understand how somebody can be talked into confessing something that they did not do.
It happens a lot. It's been shown, you know, after years, people have been taken out of jail because of like forced confessions, and they find a real killer with DNA, you know, then people are just forced to confess to something. I mean, these detectives are freaking harsh, man.
Yeah, and I get that, especially on a female, right? I mean, I don't know why she didn't say, I want my lawyer and have him present always, because I don't know. I mean, if I was ever in that situation, they said, "Oh, you killed or you did this," you just like, "Hell no, I didn't. I'm not ever going to sign anything or repeat that statement even."
Yeah, but when they tell you like, "Hey, you know, you can," oh, they actually offered her like 30 years, and she didn't even sign for that. You know, she could have signed that.
Right,
and,
right.
And so that just, she knows she's not guilty. I mean, I would have taken 30 years over a life sentence
if you were guilty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
so
either way, you know,
her whole thing was, well, I'm not guilty. Why am I going to agree to a deal? I didn't do it. Why should I? You know, I didn't do it. And then later in that documentary, one of the prosecutors, or he's an attorney, I don't know if he was on the case or not, but he was like, well, you know what? She's got to live with it. You know, she's the one who made the deal. She agreed to it.
That was pretty harsh,
turned.
bro.
Yeah, it was, right?
Yeah.
He's like, she turned down the deal for 30 years and she would have been out, you know, maybe sooner than that, but it's her fault. And I'm like, yeah, that's not pleasant at all.
I mean, because when you go based on evidence and not theory, I would have said there was reasonable doubt. But since it's a case of a child, everybody loves children. Well, there's some people who don't, right? But most people love children. And or they feel bad when a kid just died. They're showing pictures of the body. They're showing all these things, you know. So you're thinking, what a horrible monster she is.
Yeah.
Automatically.
And those photographs, the bruises on the kid and the little baby, all the bruises they showed, and she had a broken arm that never got taken care of. She had to live with that pain of that broken arm.
Wow.
And bruises, they were bite marks. They say that matched Melissa's. So
wow. I didn't see that part, I guess.
I mean, if it's only neglect, well, then the death penalty is too harsh. But if it's neglect that resulted in a death, well, then that's I mean, and she was on the documentary is on Hulu, Lenore. It's on Hulu. But it's not the greatest documentary in the world either. There's a lot of holes in there. And
so not even neglect. I mean, a kid just fell off the stairs. You take him to the doctor, you know. But I don't know.
If it was truly an accident, any parent or any adult would want to, hey, let's get the medical care. Take her to the doctor. Call the ambulance or something, you know. Right. But I'm not convinced that kid rolled down the stairs and nobody noticed a thing, and she just fell down those stairs.
So they all just stuck to the story. I just think that since the day they actually arrested her for it till now, it's been quite a while. The kids have grown up. I think by now one of the kids would have spoken up and said, you know what, enough. I want to see my mom back. The one who did it was this girl or something. You know.
Hey, JR. Hey, Helen. Yeah, I know. And then and then I mean, you look at the whole family. She's got 14 kids.
Yeah. Whoa.
And then I think it's the oldest daughter. She's got 9 or 10 also now at this point.
I saw that.
And I mean, neglect was there. They're living in poverty. They had no utility service for a while, no water. They're flushing toilets, filling up a bucket from the hose outside. Something, I don't know. Yeah, they're getting fed by this charitable organization in Harlingen called Loaves and Fishes, and that's where the kids are eating their lunch and dinner. And that's that. I don't know. The whole thing is just bad. It's just a bad situation. Snoopy says, "I can believe mom covering up for that daughter." I want to say so too, but again, we're not going to have the whole detailed conversation right now. I'm just kind of giving you a heads up on
a
teaser on what's to come. I think I don't know, something about that daughter that had no feelings for the baby. The baby's name was Mariah. It happened with it. Yeah, okay, that's another thing I want to look into. Somebody told me about that a few days ago. I'll get into that later. Another one. See, I feel it was a daughter. So then the question becomes: Is there would have to be enough evidence? Okay, so what they're saying now, this report came out from Telemundo, and there was a protest the other day over the weekend, and they want to say that the abuse happened in daycare or at in foster care. That's where the abuse happened. And I was trying to figure out the timeline, and I don't think that did she
was in foster care or what?
Yeah, was she in foster care before she died? I thought she was with them the whole time, or was she taken away for?
But even then, she would have got her daughter back, seen a bunch of bruises on her, and been like, "What the heck?"
Right, and you would think that, right?
That I can defend her when it comes to her not knowing her rights and getting an attorney, but I can't defend her and say, "Hey, your daughter has a bunch of bruises on her. What's going on?"
Yeah. What do you both think about executions? Capital punishment, I'm for it. I'm not against it. I am for capital punishment. But it's got to be, I've always said, it's got to be ironclad, airtight, 1,000% perfect that dude's guilty.
Right. I stand by it too.
And if it's not 1,000% ironclad, airtight, well then...
It doesn't meet the qualifications.
Yeah, you got to put it on hold because there's another documentary. I can't find it now. Dude, it was executed, and it turned out he was innocent.
Wow.
Can you imagine? I can't even. Oh man, being the
guy. That. No one believes you.
Right? That's got to be the most helpless feeling. You're there on death row, knowing, oh yeah, in 3 months, that's, and nobody will listen to you, and nobody will do anything. Who should we reserve use of death penalty on? Is this the kind of case where the death penalty makes sense? I was always a believer in eye for an eye. If you're going to murder somebody, well, guess what the penalty is? Why should you keep on living when you killed somebody and ended their life?
Yep. At least the punishment exists to where people are supposed to. It's not there just to go and execute people. It's there to prevent people, so people can think twice. If I do this, I'm probably gonna go to jail. I'm probably gonna get killed. I'm probably gonna get death. Some people don't care, right? But some people logically will think about it for a second. So I think there's other crimes that should have a higher sentence, like the child molesters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And things should slow down a little bit when people think about it a little more. But that's a whole nother topic.
Like maybe they have to get, I don't know, child molesters, rapists should be castrated and or killed. Child molesters, there's a lot of people you can pick and choose and say, hey, you know what, this kind of people don't need to be on this planet.
Yep.
I'm totally against people abusing dogs, animals, cats, whatever. You're cruel to an animal, you're just not a good person. Abel, like your background, Abel. Let's see. Yep, it's on Hulu. Plead the effing fifth with everything. You're right. Plead the fifth. Not pleasant, but truth. Yep. We could see. The documentary is on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, okay, so it's not the greatest documentary in the world, but it's the only one that's out there right now. But there are a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about this case, and a lot of good questions are brought up. So, just to be fair, I'd say watch all of them. Watch a bunch of them. Let's say I'm all for execution, eye for an eye. Hell yeah, 100%. Additionally, the DA possibly had ulterior motives and pursue. Okay.
Oh,
then you got the story of the DA and even her defense attorney, which is I think he's one of the Gilman family.
Oh,
right. You know, you've heard of Gilman Honda. If you're from the area, Gilman Honda over in San Benito.
Yeah.
And do you remember when they talked to him on the documentary? Dude was useless. He was useless.
Yeah, I mean, he just wanted her to sign here, or whatever.
Yeah.
And said, "Oh no, I wasn't gonna listen to. Why would I listen to kids or anybody else?" You know.
Right. Exactly. And he just wanted to make that deal in a hurry. And then the DA, he's looking to move up in the world, so he needed another win. He needed a victory. And and when you think about that, if somebody did not have a fair trial, well, what can you do? I mean, you got to give them a retrial. You got to give them a chance to get.
I'm sure she did the appeal, or she's working like on an appeal or waiting on an appeal or something.
At this point, everything's been exhausted. I think the Supreme Court has refused to
even hear her,
to even look at it. So that's why they set a date for April 27th.
Wow. Well, I mean, if the date is set, honestly, I think it is what it is. Now, you know.
Yeah. So now the question. So now people are just trying to bring up all these facts were never looked at and they were never introduced because as a lawyer she had bad representation.
It was bad all around.
Sounds like the death penalty. Hang on, is exactly what she needs. Zero tolerance for child abuse. Yeah, man. How do you abuse a little child, a little baby like that, man? I don't understand. It's something I'll never comprehend. Amber, I think she's guilty. That baby had been abused for a while. The medical examiner stated that those weren't all new injuries. There was a lot of older bruising and trauma to her little body.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm saying it's. How can you? Even if she is covering for the daughter, see, I don't know. I'm not convinced of that daughter thing though. Just because the daughter didn't like her. Did they get the whole family to agree to not? They don't see nothing, or nobody told them anything, or what? I don't know. She was beat for sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the daughters said she didn't fall down. Yeah, that's what I heard too. So a lot of documentaries have their own narrative. It'll only include certain things. Yeah, and there's a daughter. Is it the fourth or the fifth daughter? Remember, she's on TikTok a lot. She's talking about this all day, every day, all the time, doing her own little lives there. And I've tried to get her to come on. She just doesn't respond. She's kind of weird. But she wants nothing to do with her mother, Melissa. She says, yes, Melissa abused that baby, but she doesn't want her to die. She wants her to live it out in prison, life sentence.
Well, I mean, if the daughter's calling her out, then it is what it is, It's true.
For those just tuning in, we're discussing Melissa Lucio.
Because that's what I had doubts of. It was like, well, the kids are already older. They could easily speak out now. Maybe they used to fear their mom back then and stay quiet. But now they're older and they can speak out. I didn't know the daughter was speaking out.
Oh, yeah. Look her up on TikTok. It's Selena Flores on TikTok. And she's on there talking a lot all the time. And people are asking her, did you see abuse? Did Melissa do it? And she's like, yep, she did. She abused her. And she's guilty. She says, my mom's guilty. And but she doesn't want her to die.
I mean, yeah, that seals the deal. So, I mean, if it's 100% factual, then death penalty is what she deserves.
Yeah,
in my
this
opinion.
I don't have the answer to that. It said, did they ever say how long it had been since she had gotten back from foster care?
Oh yeah.
I don't recall that was ever talked about. A lot of holes, not enough evidence presented to draw up a conclusion. They are all victims of their environment and a lack of education. Mom should have done more to stay away from the substance use and the amount of children she had. And I think that it resulted in the lack of parental involvement. And so, yeah, well said. It's, I mean, once drugs got in the way too, that just made everything 100 times worse.
Yep.
There
Because
was just no.
the entire household could have been abused, and they're all scared of the abuser, so they just follow whatever the mom says.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Araceli, I saw the documentary. I also viewed the TikTok videos of one of the daughters. Yep, here we go. I think the mom's guilty. There was neglect everywhere around them. Man, and it's so sad, to think about all you people here and you too, and what I went through in my past to guarantee and do whatever possible in your every blood drop of blood in your body so your kids don't have to starve. So you got food. There's always stuff to eat. You got clothes on their back. You want to buy them just the little things that you struggle with to give them what they want. And then to think about there's kids like this being abused and neglected.
Yep.
I can't imagine it.
I mean,
don't
those
know.
kids shouldn't even have been in her hands.
No,
The way that they were living.
she should have been. Well, I'm going to say she should have been sterilized, or tubes tied or something. But
Sterilized.
I don't know what you ladies think about that topic. But this is a situation where she clearly should not have had more or even that many kids. I don't think she had been in foster care. Even if a mother would cover up for her daughter, stop doing drugs, and watch her own kid if you don't want to use birth control. These are all common sense.
Yep.
Common sense things that apparently are not so common anymore, right?
Yeah, and I get, when the emotion ties me into it, it automatically sucks me into, she deserves death penalty. When I think a little bit more about the actual justice system and the way that everything rolled out, I would have said there was a lot of pinholes also that could have put her in death penalty, without her needing to be in death penalty, just because of those pinholes. But when I'm drawn by the emotions, automatically I hate her. I want her to die. I have kids. I would hate, for
Right.
one of my kids to be going through that. But when I tie it down, well, look at how she used to live, how she had her kids living. She was on drugs. She was this. She was that. Automatically, I say death penalty.
Yeah, but when you have questions that come up, like what they're trying to do now, there's evidence that it wasn't her. And, do you stop a death penalty? Did you go, okay, let's halt, let's take a look at everything? And that's what they're trying to do right now.
Which I know it's too late, bro. Like it's gonna, unless the president calls, which right.
The governor.
The governor. Okay, if the governor was to, but I don't think he's seen the documentary yet.
I wonder. Here, hi Marie. The sister says she never fell down the stairs. Plus, Melissa Lucio's sisters were coercing the kids to lie to help Melissa by saying one of them pushed her downstairs. So if a little kid said, "Yeah, I pushed her down the stairs," how are you gonna? You're not gonna death penalty that kid, right?
Yeah.
Hang on. There you go.
So yeah, it's a trippy conversation,
Hey Emily, yeah, because there's so many unknowns still, and you think after a death penalty case there would be nothing unturned. You have to go into everything. And if she's gonna get a retrial, I mean, if it's real that Gilman and the prosecutor were had it in for her just to get the win, I mean, what can you do? You would have to give her a new trial.
Which all that is unprovable.
Yeah, it's a matter of.
I mean, she went to a jury, so the jury, now there's 6 jurors who made the decision on what was going to happen. It's no longer the district attorney. It's no longer anybody else. It's the judge and the jurors. the district attorney offered her the 30 years or the maximum sentence, death penalty.
Right.
She decided not to sign off on it, and now it's on the hands of the judge and the 6 jurors. So 6 jurors that have nothing to do with politics, or that we know of, or nothing to do with her, and a judge who's supposed to be just neutral on everything and go based on the facts that are presented by the jurors or the jurors' decision.
Yeah. And I get all that. But if it's true, I mean, should somebody go, all right, time out. Let's see what this is right here. And if they look at it, and I'm not saying reschedule the date, but just say, okay, let's take 2 weeks and take a look at all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then they can say, nope, there's not enough, or there's nothing there, continue as scheduled.
Yeah. I wonder if there is like somebody who works on those cases, like while they're on death row, see if there's anything that could be done, or it's just, like I say, right now it's too soon, man. Like next month already. I don't know if there's anything that could be done.
Yeah, it's just over about 6 weeks, maybe, roughly.
Yeah, we'll probably have a live that day.
Yeah, well, this is going to get interesting. So the reason I'm reaching out, if this is something you guys are really interested in, I'm one click away from contacting these people with the free Melissa. There's a website, freemelissalucio.org. And it's their mission to, I think they're trying to get her completely out of jail, to free her. And I don't think she should be freed.
No.
The death penalty part is right now a little shady for me, although I'm totally for it, and I was all for it when I first learned about all this. But I don't want her free. She's definitely not free. She's not innocent of anything, that's for sure.
Yeah. I definitely believe a movement should, if anything, a movement should come from it. Because there's a lot of innocent people who are in jail, because of crazy detectives who will pressure you into saying something. People who don't know about, I plead the fifth. They have no idea what the justice system is like. They just know they're under arrest. I don't know. It's like they're being abducted by aliens. They have no idea what's going on.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
so like
true.
I said, the common sense part, everybody has a common sense. Hey, my kid has bruises. What's going on? Let's take her to the doctor. But on the law side, I give her the benefit of the doubt, not knowing, the tactics that we're using were kind of harsh, that would have pushed anybody untrained into confessing into anything,
Right. And and I don't know, the other, I mean, I'm pro law enforcement and all that, right? But when you got police that are shadily trying to get somebody to confess just to say, hey, we got a confession, let's lock her up.
Like get the job done.
Cool either. Yeah. Right, exactly. That's not cool either. I don't think she killed her daughter, but helped cover it up. See, and that's where I keep going with this. I keep going with, I don't know, there's too many bruises and stuff, and a broken arm. The other little kids could they have done that? I suppose. What gets me too is I watch it again. It's like the 5th or 6th time this morning. And when the documentary opens up, she says, "Oh, one of the things I miss is, spending time with the kids, watching them. They're asking for food." But it's like she didn't have food. They always had to get food from a shelter. And then she says that Mariah would come up to her and want her nails painted and her toes painted. I'm like, it's like she was not even 2 years old. How is she doing that? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute to me. Unless you got 2-year-olds that do walk around and want their nails painted. Tell me if I'm wrong. You parents out there. But at not even 2 years old.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, they had so many kids that she would see the other little sisters getting their nails painted. It might be true.
I don't know. I mean, at that age, you think they understand what that is yet?
No, but they monkey see, monkey do.
I don't know. It's shady to me still.
The stories she's saying it are shady. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you're getting all kind of stuff from everywhere. Sonia, one of her daughters on TikTok. Yeah, that's the one. Selena Flores on TikTok. Turn off the elevator music. Yeah, pretty soon. I'm not going to be a whole lot longer. I just wanted to put this bug in your ear. Hey, Connie. I agree with Abel. Is a date set? Yes. I think that's the end. Not much else can happen unless Kim Kardashian wants to vouch for her. Or, Vanessa Tijerina, wants to come out and vouch for her. But guess what? Somebody who was very pro free Melissa, where is she now? Don't think for a minute that Vanessa cared. Don't even think. She was just pandering for votes. That's all she was doing. Switching topics for a bit. Have you heard anything about the 3 kids who killed a sex abusing? Oh yeah, I have not heard anything since then about that. Remember the 3? There's 2 brothers and a friend that they found out that their father,
the
stepdad, was molesting their little daughter.
Their half sister or something.
Right, and they took him somewhere and they beat him, and then they took him somewhere and dumped him. They left him for dead, and he died.
And then they saw him on the street walking, and then they picked him up and beat him up again. And
yep,
yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that. That's also been hush hush or brushed aside. It is very sad. Yeah, some lady shouldn't be allowed to have more kids once a child is taken from the system, and yeah. But then you're gonna get all the feminists are gonna say,
"My body, my choice."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's Snoopy. They lowered their bonds from what I said. Okay. And I was lucky. My mother abandoned me and my twin brother. She used to abuse us. Had 9 children. Only some were abused. I don't hate her. I thank her because no telling what could have happened. I feel if you can't take care of your children, you don't have to. You should put them up for adoption or something. Yeah. But not everybody thinks about that. A lot of people that have got problems up here would rather just eliminate the problem. And that's where we get into this. All these people killing their babies and their kids, and that's horrible. What's up, Shane? They are working appeals till the last day. I'm sure they're gonna be. And maybe Melissa's son will talk to you. He was commenting on VT's live video claiming. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out. This is opening up a can of worms, and we got Innocence Project. Yeah, they do a lot of investigating into all these things, and then they have these death row cases overturned because they find out real evidence. So it's not the police working on it, the detectives, but it's an outside people. Have them on if you can. Couldn't hurt hearing what they have to say. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to reach out. Let's see. What I said about group homes is valid, mate. I believe it. CBS should be held accountable, allowing her to have the kids without all that was being done.
I believe that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you'd think somebody down the line would say, you know what? Maybe 4 or 5. Maybe 5 is enough. Because if she wouldn't, I don't know. It's just.
I mean, just the circumstances she was in. She was unable to care for him. There's people who get their kids taken away for nothing, like really, for just BS. And then there's these people who end up killing their kids, and it's like, well, CPS failed them. Yeah.
If there was an easier way to, like birth control. If you can just say, no, come here, you got 5, we're going to put you on hold. You're homeless. Hang on. Give her a shot or whatever. Now, can't have any more babies until, give another shot and then reverse it or whatever. I know I'm just talking fantasy stuff, but
yeah,
if there was a way to control that population, just people that don't need to keep having kids. I was raised in okay, how do you say that name? I know Alvarado, but Caril? No. Haven't seen that one yet. Cari? Alvarado. Yes, I was raised in a home with 5 brothers and sisters plus my cousins, and I would get their nails painted, and I would want to as well. All right, so I could be off on that. Maybe 2-year-olds who are heading to 3 may want their nails painted, but only if they see people like mom or sisters getting it done. Yeah, she blamed the DA for taking advantage of her votes, etc. Yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Hungry Hippo, Willow. Another documentary to see is the collapse of the SPI. I know. I'm waiting for that thing. Is it out already?
Oh wow.
Is it out? I got to look it up if it is. And then, have you been able to watch Lucio's Kid? Yes, we're just talking about that. I mean, if a dad can't pay child support, they go to jail. If a woman keeps having kids, she can't take care of them. She gets welfare. Right? Talk about unfair.
Yep.
The system is flawed. And here we'll end it with this comment here. CPS could have failed them, but if the judge sends them back to their mothers, then there's nothing CPS can do.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. This is the same person she was trying to advocate for. Yes, correct. All right, we're going to leave it right there for now and continue this. I'm going to watch, if you haven't seen it, like I said, watch a documentary. It's called The State of Texas versus Melissa Lucio. And watch YouTube. There's a lot of videos on it. I'm going to reach out to anybody who'll come and talk to me about it. To the organization, freemelissa.org, freemelissalucio.org. I'm going to reach out there first and see what they got to say. You guys watch videos, watch the YouTube stuff, and then, when we come back in a few days, we'll figure out, see what's on your mind then.
Yeah, see,
not right.
All my observations were based on the Hulu documentary, but like somebody mentioned earlier, that could just be one-sided. I mean, it obviously is one-sided. I need to go into those like YouTube videos and do a little bit more research, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll leave it right there. Abel, thanks for coming out and talking to everybody. Abel's got a page also. What's your page? Where you got over there?
Feel
free to plug.
Entrepreneur, like entrepreneur, but entrepreneur. Or just follow me on my actual Facebook. Abel Vela. Look for me. I post most of my stuff just on my personal profile. I like to keep it that way.
Yeah, do that. Give him a look. And good friend of mine. He's known each other for a long time, for a very long time.
Yeah.
And he comes on from time to time. So good, legit guy. Also drama free.
100%.
And yeah, definitely. Let's see. There and talks about making a movie about a documentary is on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Melissa Lucio's daughter has TikTok. Yeah, her name is Selena Flores. That's who you want to look for on TikTok. She's up there talking all the time, and you can ask her questions and she'll answer them right there. And she's got these little live that she does.
Wow.
Yep, it's Selena, Selina Flores, and she's on Facebook as well, but she doesn't answer any of that stuff. Hey, Nadia. So, all right, that's where we're gonna leave it. You guys have a good rest of the afternoon. Might be on tonight. I'm not sure. Got dinner. Got a Bulls game tonight. If I do, it'll be at 10:30. So look out for that. Abel, you're welcome to hop in if you want later on too. And I've got a feeling that we'll pick this conversation up again. Even then. So, all right, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Stay warm. It's getting pretty cold out there right now. The cold front has come in. I don't know how long it'll last, but hope not that long. And okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good afternoon.